All right. Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to all the Akim doing this work in sincerity and in truth. This is the brother Yakanan from the GMS Houston camp, and I seen this article going around in the chat, and I already had a little lesson that I wanted to do, but hey, this is just help me get it out. All right, so you see the title here, and I'm just gonna skip down to the point and just read a few points of it, because they want this implanted in your skin, and this is coming faster than you think. Let's see. I'll just start here. You have to think of CBDCs as a control system or a permit system, not a currency, Professor Warner explained. So this thing coming up, this is not look at what China's doing, the social credit system. That thing, this is getting ready to take over. China is the prototype, the forerunner, the model. And cash, all this stuff is gonna get done with. It's already useless. Y'all just don't know it's useless yet. Continuing on, it's a conditional currency based on you actually getting that permit. And let me look up the word real quick. What is permit? Permit, permitting. Allow something to be done. Suffer, allow to be. Let it pass, let go, let loose. Yeah. So let's go with the first one. Allow something to be done. We're allowing you to purchase something. We're allowing you to spend money, or this CBDC. We're allowing you to get some food. It's an allowance. So it's a conditional currency based on you actually getting that permit. Now, if you happen to be some kind of critic of government policy or a critic of central banks, this could be difficult. Or if you dare step out of the city zone, maybe you'll find that, oh, my CBDC is not working. And then let's continue on. Of course, we know if you've been here in Babylon and have to deal with stuff, with your, let's say Zelle, for instance, or whatever, you try to send some money with Zelle and you don't do it right, and you ain't going to be able to send that money. Venmo, somebody try to send you money, you gotta know them. It's got to send you a code. It's got to send you some other things. All this is a bunch of hassle, but this is just to make it a convenience. This will be more convenient than just giving up money. Like, you can send money instantly, and then you got to go through a bunch of fucking bullshit, talking to robots, people asking why you using this money for. What do you want to spend your money for? What do you're trying to send somebody money? Why? Why do you even want it? What? That's unheard of. What is the purpose of this? It's continuing on. I'll just skip to pretty much the end of the article. At the moment, there's talks about CBDCs being used via phone-based apps. Yeah, that's the initial phase, but what was already... Yeah, continuing. I was told by a central banker the CBDC looks like a small grain of rice that they want to put under your skin, which is my view a violation of human dignity. They realize there is a hurdle to get people to accept this. Well, if you think back over the last 2 years, they really didn't have to try too hard to sway people to do what they wanted them to do. And that's pretty much it. Let's just get into the scriptures now. This is Leviticus 19:28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh. And let's look at that word mark. Kwai, an incision or gash, a mark, imprintment, tattoo, a mark. Continuing on, let's go to Revelation 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And let's look at that word. Well, first of all, that small, great, rich and poor, free and bond, everybody's going to have to take this CBDC that they're coming out with, which you're going to have the C-hip in order to participate. And this is what he's causing. Like Esau Edom, the ruler of Babylon, is going to make something happen to where people are going to line up to get this. Let's look at this word mark. This is G5480, charagma. It's a scratch, an etching, a stamp, an imprinted mark, thing carved. What did I just read? Kwai. These things go hand in hand. It's not, but anyway, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. And this well, what I just read here, you're gonna have to be allowed to spend some money. You're gonna have to pretty much line up and beg Esau. Continuing on, this is Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And this beast is this beast system is Rome all over again. This is the revived Roman Empire, Babylon, or Babylon the Great. That's here, and it's this whole system that's taken over. I mean, if you look close, if you got a spiritual eye, you'll see it. The buildings are Romanesque, which really goes back to Petra. It goes back to Edom. All this stuff is going back to Rome. The Senate, malls, fast food, any number of things. The bread and circus. I even saw an article earlier. Is the West gonna fall, or was it the U.S.? Is the U.S. gonna fall like Rome did? No, it's gonna be much better. It's gonna be a much better show. Like, because Yahushua is gonna come back with his angels. The other nations are gonna send their ICBMs on this place, their MERVs. Oh, it's gonna be so beautiful. Even if I don't make it to the end, it's gonna be so beautiful to know. Even if I die before this, I don't make it to see the chariots, but I'll be in the heavens. I'll still be rooting for y'all brothers. It's gonna be so beautiful to know. It's beautiful to know that the destruction of this place, this evil, wicked, demonic kingdom, was written about thousands of years ago. From the beginning, it was already written that this place was going to be destroyed, and that's a beautiful thing. And let's continue on, because this is my last precept, and I got a little video. And this is Revelation 16 and verse 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. And that noisome and grievous sore, which the title of this lesson is a bad nature. It's a Poneros G4190. And let me try to go back without. And the sore, an ulcer, a wound producing a discharge, pus. So let me actually get the edom on that. Let me see if anything comes up. That's all right. So we'll just get to the video now.
Theorists and a lot of theory, but there wasn't very much practice. There weren't very many individual people doing any kind of experiments. So I just sort of wanted to get involved with that by myself. I wanted to contribute some kind of practical research to it. The implants I have some magnetic nodes, which are for sensing electromagnetic radiation. Various devices that you'll find around, electronic devices, give off electric fields. And that's what these are for. They sense it, they let you feel it as a sort of tingling sensation. I've also got an RFID tag in here, which is a little microchip that lets various machines equipped with a reader recognize which chip it is uniquely. So you can do things like, I had a keyboard for a while that wouldn't log on to a computer unless my particular tag was present. So I was the only person that could use the keyboard because nobody else would have the same unique tag. These in here, this lump you can see here, that's a set of test implants. They're in there just to see if my body will reject them or not. They're a long-term experiment. The magnetic nodes, they let you sense the electromagnetic fields around you. It's a whole new sort of set of sensory input that I had never had before I had these implants. And it's fascinating to see what kind of devices give off what kind of field and how strong they are, how far away they are. The cons of these ones are that because they're little magnets, there's certain equipment that I can't go near anymore. An MRI scanner in particular in a hospital that is powered by a giant, incredibly strong electromagnet. So it means that I couldn't go anywhere near it when it was working. If I did, it's not like my hand would just be pulled towards the magnet. They would be ripped out of my hand. It would be horrible. So you have to wear a medical bracelet that says you can't go near an MRI, just in case something happens to you and you'd be taken to hospital and scanned without them knowing that this was in your hand. The substance that they're made out of, neodymium, these nodes, is a rare earth metal, but it's not actually compatible with the human body. If you just put a raw piece of neodymium inside your finger, it'll degrade. It breaks down, the body starts encasing it in scar tissue. You can see that happen with one of mine here. This is my only failed experiment here, where I didn't use the right kind of coating, and the coating broke down, the body got through to the neodymium, and it started. That's why there's this big lump, because it's encased in scar tissue inside, so obviously the node doesn't work anymore. But that's what bioproofing is there to prevent. One of the things I use for bioproofing is a moldable kind of silicon putty called sugru. It's meant for repairing tools and stuff, but it's very useful. I found that it makes a really good coating. Silicone is completely impermeable to the body. It doesn't react to it, doesn't care that it's there at all. I do a few tests before I put something into, like, underneath my skin. And one of the best ways to test this beforehand is I test it with bacon. And if you think that something might degrade inside the body, one of the best ways to find out whether it will or won't is to get your little piece of whatever it is you think might degrade and roll it up inside a piece of bacon and then put it in the fridge and just leave it there for as long as you can. I've had roommates who have suffered through rotting bacon in the fridge for weeks and weeks with bits of metal inside, but if it degrades inside the bacon, then the likelihood is that it probably will inside your body and you shouldn't put it there. For the surgery that I do at home, most of it is in preparation. I try and make everything as sterile as I possibly can. You have to be so careful with killing germs. Germs are the #1 problem with all of this. A tiny bit of dirt or germs gets into a wound that you've made. Things can just get so horribly infected. At the first implant that I ever did, I left the wound open too long and it got incredibly infected. My whole, not just the finger that I tried to put the implant in, but all the way down my hand and all up my arm was a green line of infected blood, and it was, my whole arm was throbbing and infected. It was horrible.